the last. That notwithstanding, I said I was going to give us a situation. So we had this conversation here some years ago about this young girl at age 29, and I knew her. Very forceful girl. So from school, she was working, she was doing a lot of things on the side. So the girl had her own house at 29. She was earning good money, you know, and now marriage was setting in. They discussed everything. Okay, so they agreed to do a joint account. So I'll put this much in the joint account. And even before she got married, she planned on her own, I'll have 3 children.
Okay.
So she has been saving for
three.
these 3 children, imaginary 3 children. So she tells herself that I am like my mind day. And she also loves the good things of life. So if it's your friend is saying a Gucci bag, she will buy the authentic
Okay.
Gucci bag for herself. If she wants, like, a Ralph Lauren, perfume, she will get the authentic one. She loves those things. Here we are in marriage. Husband, I disclosed everything. I've made such investments for the kids we are yet to have. We have agreed on the joint account. I've told you how much I earn. We'll put this one in the joint account. But at the end of the day, I need a bit of freedom to make decisions on how to use the money that is mine. So you don't come and tell me I have too many designer bags. I have too many this. I have too many this. And it was kind of, oh, but that's fair. That's cool. That's understandable. So they get married. And she's a very thoughtful girl. So she got married. She rented her house. And at the time, the man was living in a rented house. But then she said that she didn't want the temptation. And also her husband feeling like we are living in your house. So they had a conversation and said, look, it doesn't matter. If you want us to rent and live in a place where you would feel like the man, I'm okay. And the man wanted that. So they moved into a rented apartment. She rented that house. And the man knew how much was coming in from all that. Then, fast forward, we are in the marriage. I go to work. I come back with, bags full of new shoes and bags and things. Husband says, why are you wasting money? You have enough already. We can use this money for something else. And she said, hold it, young man. We had this conversation and said to you that the money that I have kept for myself, I don't need you to tell me what to use it for. I go out, I see something I like. Besides, I have always been a very thoughtful person, even before we got married. So why are you now trying to sit on my happiness? And trust me, that shook the marriage.
I can imagine.
They tried, but 3 years on, the marriage broke down.
To be expected.
Such situation, what do you do?
To be expected. I mean, I told you there will always be changes. You see it, you love it, you go for it. Can you keep it? Dress it and keep it. That's the other side of it. How do you keep it? What do you want to keep with what you saw from the beginning? You understand? This lady, I think, has done well for herself. I would think that the man should calm down and walk her through, probably, if you think that she spends and overspends, and not make it a big issue. Now, you see, if you want to change somebody who's already grown in the scenario you painted, I mean, she's well endowed. She works for her money. Okay, so if you want to bring her to say, oh, okay, don't overspend or don't spend too much, you don't rush it, because you cannot change it. That
is that, must this even be a conversation to have, Reverend?
It's a conversation, but then don't make it an issue.
Well, my view is that if there has been that conversation,
yes,
and there has been an agreement, I don't see why the gentleman should have a problem.
Exactly.
Because if the money wasn't taken from, let's say, emergency funds or money for education for the kids or project money, etc., etc., it's her own money. Exactly. There has been that agreement. you can cancel. You can say, "Oh, are you sure you really need these
Mm-hmm.
things?" Um, um, you know, if you don't really need it, but it shouldn't become a key thing.
Oh.
Because like I said, everybody will have a certain upbringing, and
Mm-hmm.
you've described someone who was very thoughtful
Exactly.
and also hardworking. In
Exactly.
other words, she works for her
Her
money.
money.
So if there's an agreement that we have, and when it comes to planning, I would say that, for instance, is have an emergency fund for emergencies, have a fund for education, have a fund for projects, have a fund for retirement. So if those funds are in place and you are feeding it, and then you have extra, you want to use it, for the things, the nice things, your taste. I don't see why there should be an issue.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm wondering whether there were some other things that led to the breakup
Breakdown,
of the
sadly.
marriage, apart from this. Sometimes there'll be some undercurrents, and then one thing would, if you like, trigger a certain move. I don't know, but I don't think the gentleman, should have
I
made
sat
an
in.
issue.
I mean, there was a counselor, but because the lady is, I mean, she's a young person, So I sat in the conversation.
Okay.
What I realized was that right from the beginning, the gentleman was a bit insecure.
Absolutely.
That's how come when she proposed, she proposed that, would you like us to live here, or you'd like to get a place for us to move to? He quickly said,
Move.
let's move to a place, because you don't want to hear that, and
What's
we
your
live in
bar
my
fee?
house. So she agreed. And you see, she has it at the back of her mind that people have said that women like her don't respect men. You can't be married because you always feel bossy and things like that. So she had deliberately told herself that I want to come into this marriage and surrender it all
Okay.
so that it can work.
Which she did.
Which she did. And had the conversation that, look, I work hard and I have come to enjoy these things. So